What is up, guys? Welcome back to a YouTube channel dedicated to talking about movies. My name is Isaac, and welcome to the Multiverse of Movies, a channel for all movie fans. Whether you're a Marvel fan, Star Wars fan, Lord of the Rings fan, Godfather fan, whatever fan base you belong to, this is the place for you. So make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. Anyways, I've already done a Black Widow review, so you can go check it out at the top right corner. Go check it out if you want to hear my full-in review for the video. However, I want to get one thing out the way, and that is Taskmaster. Now, there will be spoilers for this video because I do want to go into details as to why I didn't like Taskmaster and why I believe he is the most wasted villain in all of Marvel Cinematic Universe history. Now, let's get into it in the Multiverse of Movies. But anyways, Taskmaster. So I grew up reading comics, and I've always said this. I do believe that movies should make their own stories. They should try to be new and original. They shouldn't have to be focused on being comic book accurate. But let me say this. Taskmaster, growing up, was one of my favorite villains because I always found him cool. I found it cool that he was able to do the same moves another hero would. And I liked his suit. I liked how powerful he was. I liked everything. But so when I heard that in the Black Widow movie, they were going to be bringing him in as the main villain, I was excited. I was like, heck yeah. And even when they revealed his suit for the first time, even though I was like, that's not as good as I expected to. And I did believe that they could have been able to translate the comic book suit to a real world, which I still believe that, because that suit doesn't look as crazy as something like, I don't know, Loki's suit, Captain America's suit, all the other characters. Taskmaster seemed more of a suit that I felt like could have been done well in live action. But regardless, I thought the suit was cool. I even got myself a Funko Pop of that version of Taskmaster. But let me tell you, so the trailers promoted Taskmaster as this master assassin who Natasha was going to have a hard time fighting and a hard time running away from. That's what the trailers kept promoting Taskmaster as. But nah, instead, all he is this tiny side villain who just quickly pops up, has no motivation, and only has one line. One line. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, is it because Taskmaster ended up being a girl? No, I don't care about that. I'm fine that they changed it. To me, that doesn't matter. To me, what mattered was the story, the character, everything. When I did my review, a lot of people were like, you didn't like Taskmaster or stuff like that? And I'm like, nah, he was terrible and boring. The motivation of Taskmaster was nothing. It was just, oh, the little girl got bombed, but she got put a chip on the back. And the whole concept of Taskmaster being able to manipulate other characters' moves, that whole was wasted. In the trailers, they made it seem like he could manipulate every power he could see. But now, instead in the movie, you just quickly see him with Black Panther claws and a Captain America shield, and that's about it. All he really copies is Natasha. I'm like, you got footage of Captain America, you got footage of Thor, you got footage of all these characters, but you're telling me you're only going to be watching Natasha's moves? Which I found absolutely embarrassing. It was annoying. It genuinely was annoying. And the motivation, she wasn't even the main villain. It was Durko. I forgot what his name was. But it's this Russian dude, and Taskmaster is daughter of the Russian dude. She was part, she got put a chip in the back, and at the end it's just quickly, oh, she just leaves, and then that's it. And it was so wasted, because in the trailers I thought that was going to be the best part of the movie. I thought that the Taskmaster character would have been this awesome, powerful being who was able to tactically be very powerful, but instead the movie's like, you know what, nah, let's just quickly make a reference to Black Panther and Captain America and then get over with it. Like, that was it. It was just two cool scenes and then bye. That's it. That's really it. And that did annoy me. And that did make me frustrated, not just as a Marvel fan and not just as a Black Widow fan, but as a fan of the Taskmaster character as a whole. I've always thought Taskmaster was one of the coolest characters in the MCU. But I'm sorry, Marvel, you took this character to the dump. I'm sorry, but this is not how you do the character justice. This is not how you write the character. And I'm sorry, but this was an awful attempt. This was an awful attempt. No motivation. And I would have loved it if the motivation was actually the little girl. She has a hatred for Natasha for bombing half her face almost off, or almost killing her practically. I would have loved that, but the movie instead is like, nah, she has a chip in the back of her head that makes her this way. Then I'm like, well, you know how wasted that potential could have been? And I wish the whole movie delved deeper into Taskmaster being on a hunt for Natasha. Instead, what it does is at the beginning, it shows Taskmaster fighting Natasha, and while she has the chance to kill Natasha, instead of doing that, she just heads for the red things that causes the widows to not go back to normal and be conscious again. It's a little weird because I'm like, okay, so you tell us that the motivation of Taskmaster is to kill Natasha, but yet at the very beginning, when she has the chance to, she doesn't do that. She just walks away. And that did frustrate me because I'm like, so then what's even the point of that motivation specifically if that motivation isn't going to pan out like the way you wanted us to feel? And so that part frustrated me a ton. It annoyed me. It was just really frustrating to see. It was really frustrating to see. And I really hope that if they ever bring this character back, because Taskmaster didn't die at the end, if they bring her back, I hope it's in a really well way. I feel like they will bring back Taskmaster eventually, but this kind of feels like Mandarin again, where in Iron Man 3 they kind of didn't do Mandarin that well. I did like Mandarin in Iron Man 3, I'll be honest, but I think Taskmaster is the most wasted villain in all Marvel history, or Marvel Cinematic Universe history. But that motivation of, oh, I want to kill Natasha, but at the beginning I won't kill her. And then it wasn't even her motivation. It was just a chip in the back of her head. And I'm like, but she still bombed you. Like, what? Like, your motivation was, what? Like, if I was brought back like that, I would have still wanted to kill Natasha. Because Natasha did attempt to take your life. It's like, what? I don't know. It really frustrated me how they did Taskmaster. And then the action scenes with Taskmaster weren't very good. At the beginning, I did like that little slide that she did at the beginning when she's fighting Natasha for the first time with the sword, and I thought that was cool. That's about it. That's probably the only cool thing. I actually did like the little jump she did on Red Guardian later on in the movie. But besides that, she does nothing. I know a lot of people didn't like how Taskmaster didn't talk. I was fine with Taskmaster not talking. My problem was that the character itself was just written very poorly. Especially that ending reveal, how they're like, oh my god, it's the daughter. Like, I'm telling you, I think a better way of writing Taskmaster would have been, at the beginning, you see that she has a hatred for Natasha, and she's hunting out Natasha. She's trying to get all these widows to hunt down Natasha, has a hatred for Natasha, and knowing that now she doesn't have the help of the Avengers, that's the reason why she's now on the hunt for Natasha, instead of bringing in Durko and being like, oh, they got to destroy the Red Room. I thought that would have been a better motivation, and then the whole movie you could see Taskmaster overpowering Natasha and Natasha barely being able to escape. And I felt like the whole movie, it could have been Natasha being scared and panicful of Taskmaster, kind of like Spider-Man in in Far From Home against Mysterio, where that scene after he gets run over by the train, you can see genuine fear in his eyes for Mysterio and believing everything around him was fake. That's what I think should have happened, where you have Natasha be like, I don't trust any of y'all because I don't know who could be Taskmaster. It's like Taskmaster's much stronger, much more smarter. And I feel like at the end you get the reveal, and then she can be like, you took everything from me. You attempted to kill me. Or you could even have Durko die, and then she'd be like, I love Durko because Durko was obviously her father. And I felt like something like that would have been so powerful. But I know it sounds like I hate the movie. I actually liked it. I thought it was a decent movie. I don't think it's top 20. I don't think it's top 15 Marvel movies of all time, but I would say it's a decent movie, not bad. Not very good either, but my biggest issue was how poorly written the character of Taskmaster was. And again, I say this as a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I say this as a fan of Scarlett Johansson's interpretation of the Black Widow. I say this as a fan of Florence Pugh, David Harbour, everyone who was in this project. I say this specifically as a fan of the character of Taskmaster. I'm not saying get to comic book accuracy. I'm glad that they changed up some things. Like, I was fine with the female change. I was fine with the suit looking different. What I wasn't fine with is how terrible the execution was, and how that Taskmaster wasn't even the main villain. The main villain was Durko. And that kind of frustrated me. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this was audio only. I didn't have the time to get the camera set up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace!